Imagine a battlefield with no borders, no deserts, no mountains, only ice. An arena where global superpowers are clashing silently without missiles, without gunfire, but with icebreakers, submarines, oil rigs, and satellites. That battlefield is the Arctic. As the ice melts, the stakes rise. Russia is militarizing its Arctic front. The US is sending submarines under the ice. China, with no Arctic territory, is calling itself a near-Arctic power. Even NATO has declared the Arctic a critical frontier. Yet one major power is curiously absent from this silent storm: India. This isn't just about geography, it's about energy, climate, trade, and influence. While we debate the Indo-Pacific, a new Cold War is brewing at the top of the world, and the question is, will India rise to the challenge or be frozen out of the future? Before we move forward, please like, share, and subscribe to Strategic Vanguard to know the latest from the world of defense, strategic, and foreign affairs, with a unique Indian perspective. For centuries, the Arctic was a frozen no-man's land. Today, it's becoming the 21st century equivalent of the Persian Gulf: rich, contested, and militarized. Climate change, opportunity. Rising temperatures are melting Arctic ice at unprecedented rates, especially during the summer. This has unlocked shipping lanes like the Northern Sea Route, NSR, and Transpolar Passage, which can reduce travel time between Asia and Europe by 10 to 15 days compared to the Suez Canal. Natural resource bonanza. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates that the Arctic holds 13% of the world's undiscovered oil, 30% of its untapped natural gas, rich deposits of rare earth minerals, uranium, and zinc. The nation that dominates the Arctic can control future energy supplies, shipping lanes, and even global internet cables now being routed under the ice. Satellite coverage and strategic missile paths. The Arctic is also the shortest missile path between the US and Russia. It matters not just for economics, but for strategic deterrence and space surveillance. Russia considers the Arctic its backyard. It has more territory above the Arctic Circle than any other nation. Reopened Cold War-era airfields and radar stations, installed S-400 missile systems, and built Arctic specialized brigades, operating nuclear-powered icebreakers like Arctica. No other nation comes close. The Kremlin's Arctic Strategy 2035 outlines militarization, economic zones, and new infrastructure, including LNG ports. Russia is betting that the Arctic will fuel its economic revival and cement its global status. United States, playing catch-up. Bases in Alaska are being upgraded with new radars, fighter jets, and Arctic training. Submarine warfare drills under ice are becoming more frequent. The U.S. Coast Guard only has 2 functional icebreakers, compared to Russia's 50+, a major gap. Washington now considers the Arctic a strategic theater and has included it in its national defense strategy. China, the Arctic gatecrasher. Despite being thousands of kilometers away, China declared itself a near-Arctic state in 2018, has launched the Polar Silk Road, investing in Arctic ports and infrastructure, especially in Iceland, Greenland, and Russia. Built Shuilong and Shuilong 2, its own polar icebreakers, eyeing mineral extraction, new shipping lanes, and scientific bases to project soft power. Beijing's moves are part of its larger goal, becoming a polar power by 2049, the centenary of Communist China. India has the brains, the ambition, and the scientific talent. But when it comes to the Arctic, our presence is symbolic at best. India's research station Himadri was established in Svalbard, Norway in 2008. India is an observer in the Arctic Council since 2013, but has limited influence or say in policymaking. No Indian military or strategic doctrine mentions the Arctic explicitly. India's shipping policy doesn't account for Arctic trade routes. Even scientific missions are underfunded and irregular. Meanwhile, China, also an observer like India, has published a full Arctic white paper, developed a shipping strategy, and invested billions in Arctic infrastructure. India, despite being a rising power, has no roadmap for a region that will decide the future of global energy and trade. You might ask, the Arctic is far away. Why should India care? The answer lies in 5 powerful reasons. 1. Energy security. India is the world's 3rd largest oil importer. As Arctic energy becomes accessible, India must diversify sources, especially if West Asia destabilizes. 2. Climate impact on India. Melting Arctic ice is linked to unpredictable monsoons and heat waves across South Asia. What happens in the Arctic doesn't stay in the Arctic. 3. Strategic encirclement. China's Arctic ambitions are part of a broader geostrategic arc, from the South China Sea to the Indian Ocean to the polar north. India risks being surrounded diplomatically and economically. 4. Trade opportunities. India-Europe trade through the Arctic could become faster and cheaper than the Suez Canal if India builds polar-capable shipping capabilities. 5. Technological leadership. India's polar satellite, cryospheric research, and even drone technologies can benefit from Arctic collaboration, but only if we actively participate. Arctic strategy is no longer optional. It's the next frontier of great power status. If India wants to shape the world order, it must act like a global power. That means asserting its presence even in places it once ignored. Action points for India. Formulate an Arctic policy white paper. Align climate, energy, security, and trade strategies. Expand Himadri Station. Create partnerships with Norway, Russia, and Canada to co-develop Arctic science and infrastructure. Commission ice-class shipping vessels. Leverage Cochin and Mazagon shipyards to begin design and construction. Join Arctic climate science consortiums. Position India as a key voice on Arctic climate diplomacy. Public awareness campaign. Involve think tanks, students, and media in Arctic discourse. India should not wait for conflict or crisis to pay attention to the Arctic. Strategy means acting before it's too late. The new Cold War won't be fought in the mountains of Ladakh or the islands of the Pacific, but in the cold, quiet expanses of the Arctic. The ice is melting. The routes are opening. The race has already begun. Russia and China are sprinting. The US is catching up, and India still at the starting line. The Arctic may seem distant, but in global strategy, distance is a myth. Relevance is what counts. And if India wants to be relevant in the coming century, it must break the ice. Literally and diplomatically. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share and like and subscribe to Strategic Vanguard to be updated with the latest news and information from the world of defense strategic affairs with a uniquely Indian perspective.